Hello, comrades. It's Premier River, and we are back, and we are moving our construction crew from one building to another so that we can start working on this bridge and some other things over here. We are diligently trying to get all these guys over so we can keep getting, probably still the biggest priority is getting people into this building. And we still need to get some of these footpaths done as the last episode went on. But very little time has passed since the last episode. And, I just needed to get that construction office assigned over here anyway. I wanted to get it moved over. And I did come in, one of the few things I did between the episodes is just come in and put more footpaths over here mostly. I also did add another shopping center here. We didn't have one for this one. So as I was putting around the footpaths, I noticed that, like, here's a shopping center. Here'll be another one. I know I don't need all of these, and I certainly don't need another track, but I wanted to make things symmetric, right? This is more, in some ways, about how it's going to look. A little hard to tell how it's going to look. So hopefully it'll look nice because we have the symmetry, at least in certain directions, where we have a train station here and just sort of the idea of like a loop of a tram that goes around our nice little city here, that kind of thing. So, all right, so let me go ahead and commit to these things before I forget. And we'll do that. And we'll go over to footpaths. And we'll do that. I think that's it. All right, so I just really need to get these footpaths. I need to stay on top of that. So maybe we'll even do this. Yeah, I really do wish the devs would change that so when I close, why not just leave that closed? Actually, no, put this up at the top, please. All right, so now we do have some distribution issues. I thank you guys for all of your statements and comments, and I want to plow forward with a better understanding. However, to be honest, it's not. And by the way, I recorded ahead a little bit, so it's I don't always get your comments before the episodes. You know what? I do want to do something else over here. Let's make sure he's working on this road, right? So what I want to do as time goes on is, and we need to, I don't know how much I actually really want to use the distribution offices in cases where I feel like I'm just using it for the sake of using it, right? Like it's sort of, maybe part of the issue there is like an old dog, new tricks. I don't know if you ever heard that. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm an old dog, right? I'm used to not doing it with these distribution centers. So that's what I tend to fall back on. But what I want to do is I don't want these guys taking food to these shopping centers, right off the bat. And now what we could possibly do here, right? It's a little bit awkward with our driving trucks over to here, but I noticed at one point that we're full up on clothes and we have no food. So I'd like to, that's probably one of my bigger priorities for fixing things. I don't want that open. So now what we could do with this is one of two things. We could either have it taking food and stuff to like each of the warehouses that we have here. Right, so this was originally built actually to get, I think, some mechanical components and stuff over here. Let's just run up the food 100%. Right. Yeah, and then we'll take the clothing to 50%, right? And then we'll take mechanical components and electrical components, which, well, you know what, do we even want those in there? Because when we're doing construction here, it's going to be pretty limited. And do we just use another warehouse for these that's a little bit closer to the border, or do we distribute a few? Well, let's just leave the space in here. We don't have to bring them over here. So now what I want to do with this building, right, is say, okay, now I want you to come to here, and if all the destination buildings are, I can't do less than 30%? Oh, we don't have, that's a little weird. So if you don't have a destination building, okay, whatever. That I'm not complaining about that. All right, so, well, if you're less than 50% of clothing and that, right? Then I want you to bring clothing and or whatever here. Now, is there anything else we're going to want here in the future? Well, we could want electronics, right? Yeah, so we'll set this up to hold those, and then we'll do that to each one of these, right? So we tend to build these for construction purposes. So what? Oh yeah, I really wish we could hide that or put it up into here. I don't really ever intend to use this searching for thing, but yeah, let's take these all. We're gonna have plastic in here. There we go. So let's do food and clothes. 50%. We'll set these up each the same, right? And we're gonna do bomb, bomb, bomb. So this could become a place where we could put any one of these things or not, right? And so then we're gonna do. Right, and then we'll have another one. I don't know if you guys want to see all this excitement. Contain yourselves, right? Yeah, this is, let's take it off. Well, you know what, let's pause it. We're going to be double careful. We're going to take this off of purchase. Yeah, you know what, let's just take this off of purchase altogether for now. And then we're going to run the food up. We'll just get these set up the same way. All right. So there we go. So now we're going to take this guy and say, where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, if you're less than 50%, send a truck out. Perfect. And then, then the problem there is that we're not going to have mechanical components. So why don't we set up a mechanical components? Yeah, see, I don't like that this is all the way over here. So we didn't set these up for distribution to these things. We set them up for distribution to the construction, right? So we're going to do that. And then now, yeah, let's go down and get that set up. Yeah, so adding the buildings there, yeah, we'll see. Let's see how that works out, right? So now this will be distributing our food and clothing to these buildings, which is not actually getting it into our stores, right? So that's another thing that we need to do. So let's see. So what we need to do now is say like this truck, which is a big truck. Do we want to start buying smaller trucks? See, this is what I was planning on doing. Yeah, really, I don't know. If I send this guy over to work in that building, will he? Let's just see what happens. Let's see if he loses his load of clothing or not. Oops, I forgot time playing forward anyway. Yeah, so now what I would do... Oh, you know what we have to do? We have to... Yeah, you know what, pause again. Yeah, see, here we're purchasing chemicals. Yeah. Yeah, let's cancel the purchase from here, right? And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to set this guy up the same way. Forget about the chemicals for a minute. All right, so that's... The building is without power supply. What? We'll deal with that in a second. Okay, so that's fine. We're not purchasing anything else from here, which is going to be a problem for our chemicals. So now, yeah, that guy's getting sent back there. So now what I want to do at each one of these is I want to buy covered halls. that is, well, do we want a little bit smaller of a covered haul? It really doesn't make any difference other than the price, right? So if we could find one, yeah, and I'd want to make sure that we're hauling, yeah, see, and this is the other thing. We really probably should set this. Yeah, something like that, right? Because we really don't need much in the way of electronics. And then, yeah, I hesitate to take the purchasing off of here until we get it all set up. But what I would do is then get covered hauls that were the right size. Like we just need like a little one to do the clothing, right? Like 2.5. Well, we'd want it to be a little bit bigger. How much clothing does this guy? 4, 5, 2. Do we have one that has 3? No. Let's just see what we got here, right? Yeah, this one does 3.5. Yeah, look, skid 706. It looks like the other truck anyway, right? Yeah, let's do skid 706. So we'll set these up to do like 23%, and that we'll get a skid 706 to do that. And then really I think the food at 8 tons, we're probably just as well off doing the covered hauls here. But I'm going to do a little switcherooski, right? Like this guy that we just sent out. Where the heck is he? Who knows? Is this the one we're sent back to? No, that's our chemical getting guy, which we have to resolve that pretty quickly here too. What I want to do, these guys are, yeah, well, you know what, this guy, like in other words, we could use the less efficient trucks rather than selling, like where is this guy? Is this guy heading to the small distribution? Yeah, you know what, let's cancel that. I want you to go to here. All right, and then really what I want you to do is go up here and sell that stuff. Here, we could play time forward, I think. Sell that stuff. Right. Yeah, and then stay on my radar. And then what I would do is let's take this guy, and just because he's bigger and he's a lot more fuel efficient. No, don't start. I want you to go into here, right? So we're going to switch, if we can, some of those guys out so that they're a little bit more efficient. And then this guy, I want you to take. Yeah, see, the problem is we're not going to have. I want you to come here and get clothing and bring it to the store. And wait. And really, I want you to wait here as well. Which means that if I want you to wait there and not to cause problems, I really need to be purchasing stuff, food and clothing here. Or I need to be importing it from the thing, right? Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Because we should still be over the percentage so that when this guy gets here, right, it kind of stinks that we had to purchase all that to get this thing full and working. And I think some of this stuff I'm gonna do a little bit of this. I think I might even just pause now, go get a cup of coffee, and yeah, so this guy could be doing something too, huh? Yeah, so I need to keep an eye on this guy, get him to unload that, and then when he gets back here, right, I want him to go to here, load up food and wait. And then I want him to go to here and unload the food and wait. Does that make sense? So in other words, this guy, this distribution office will take food from here. Yep, no food. And we're going to work on that. Yeah, you know what? We should cut down the number of people in here. Let's cut it in half. Alright, so 20 in each of those, and then this keeps the proportion. Then 25 here. Yeah. You know what? Let's leave this one up. What other way could we do the proportion? Like I don't like when you keep it at that exact ratio, like, you know, 20 is to 25, like 80 is to 100 type thing. Yeah, so let's see if we did. Let's just try one up on each one. We'll keep this one going a little bit more, right? Yeah, so this one should be. Yeah, so this should be like, say, 30. Yeah, that's 25. That's 25. Yeah, a little bit higher than that. So hopefully that'll get some of the people over because, yeah, because our trams can't drop off. Oh, there we go. Look, we're getting people over to the to the food thing. We are making some food, but just we need to get this all distributing. So, you know, and really before I change the way we're doing, like I did this store. Do I really want to start changing all of these to be purchasing food? No, really what I should do is change this to purchase food and then give it some time. Right? Like, yeah. Right? If we just purchased food here, then that should keep these trucks rolling all the time about the food situation anyway. If not the clothing. Yeah, and I'm wondering if we don't need that bigger office to do that. Yeah, I closed that truck. Let's open it back up again. I need to change his route. Oh, wait, we already have. Oh, you're going from the lake off. Okay. Well. No. Let's, well, here. This one we need to keep. No, this one we need to keep open. So that I can change his route once he gets. Actually, we could take that off, right? Yeah. So once he gets up there, and then this one. We could just use someplace else. Right? Like, what do we have going here? Yeah, see, that's a clothing one. We could switch this guy from going there to going... I want you to go from here. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. I want you to go from here to here. Alright, I want you to load. So I want you to load and wait. No, you can't wait because we don't have... Oh, yeah, you can. But you know what? I want you to go to here. Load. Wait. That's why we built this thing. Alright, and then... Wait to unload at the shopping center. And then eventually we'll build this... We'll build this footpath and whatnot around here, and we'll be able to have them wait in there when we have more than the number of vehicles, right? So instead of going back there, why don't you just head right on over to the shopping center? Yeah, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to have the distribution office take things to the warehouse, which will be a little bit more efficient. We will not have these warehouses purchasing food in the long run. I think we'll keep this one just for a minute, and then we're going to get this to not purchase food, but let's get yeah, this guy running back and forth. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Like, in other words, and the reason for that is I don't want these guys taking little tiny loads to the stores. Now, this one probably wouldn't matter too much because it's so close, but I don't like to set up exceptions unless I really have to. And to set this guy up to go right to the store would be a bit of an exception, which makes things more confusing in the long run. Right? So, well, actually, you know what? Let's do that after. I'll straighten more of that stuff out afterwards. Right? Yes, we need to leave that open. Yeah, let's go take a look at the construction, and we'll get this construction open because we want to get this going down here. And it looks like we got more things we can assign. All right, and then we need to assign this guy to the same things so that we get people down here. All right, and then you can go to that one too, since I guess it's too small to get done with a piece of equipment. Yeah, I think we may do that one just because we can. And this one was already assigned to that, yeah. All right, there we go. So that's keeping this moving. And yeah. Now are you, yep, you emptied out that clothing. Good. All right, so now you are now officially our food truck for that area. Yeah, see, I really wish we could move or get rid of that. All right, good. Now, what I want to do, the reason I didn't pause the video is I want to come in here and get rid of this and get our what do you call it across here? So let's, our railroad tracks. So let's come in here and, well, let's bulldoze this. Oop, building is on fire. Yeah, when it comes to the building is on fire, I think Antonio had a good idea. Let's just say we hopped over to here and we realized that this wasn't, like, what he does is he pays attention to this, and say we didn't have buses bringing people here, he would just, like, import people into, like, a house that's over here. Which, sure, you know, like, but what I was trying to say the other day is why not have some mechanism where, you know, you have to be paying attention, and if you have some rural, like, isolated, you know, kind of situation, or just whatever kind of situation with the fire company, could you know, you'd have to be paying attention, and then you'd say, okay, respond, and you'd have to click something, and, you know, make sure that your buildings didn't burn down or something, like, I don't know, make it a little bit more of like a game. That makes sense. Now the other thing, all right, let's go back to this. So the building didn't burn down. That's wonderful. I want to get rid of these things because I think they're just going to cause a problem. All right. I didn't get rid of them before. Yeah, you know what? Well, this one we might. Yeah, that's going to be hard to get rid of. That's fine. We don't need to get rid of that. You know, I'm going to pause time for 1 minute while we do something else. Let's get rid of that line for a second, and then I think we need to, let's show our wire for, yeah, let's level this out a little bit, right? I think we should have, oh, we don't have a free bulldozer, really? You know what? Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, that's where road leveling comes in. Or railway leveling. All right, so we should be able to. Well, no, we have a free excavator. It's right there. Oh no, it's not. It's in there, but it's not in there. All right, let's just auto build using rubles. We'll just be very frugal with it. All right. There you go. That's enough. All right, so now let's get rid of that and that. Get rid of this. All right, so what I'm thinking of is, all right, can we really? Oh, what's that road? Oh yeah, look at that. Can we get up there? This is another. There's a node in here, and we can't cross. We can cross there, but we can't cross here. So that means you got to destroy the road. Like far enough away that it. Well, we probably did a little bit more than I needed to, but all right, and then we'll just repurchase it. And I'm not going to sit there and wait for that construction to happen for what I consider to be poor programming. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it's certainly, again, poor programming or poor design. I guess poor design, right? Like where I definitely think that could have been done better. Why can't I cross there? Oh, because you have a node. Well, yeah, but you designed it to have the node that broke the game. Like it's not like real world roads have a node right there that they can't deal with, you know. So we'll get rid of some of these. See, and then that becomes like one project. So when they're heading back and forth to do things, it just makes them a little more efficient. The rail, because I'm auto constructing and because the rail goes from one to the next, that's not totally true. All right, so there we go. So now we can play time. Oh no, wait. Let's go reconnect this. Is that the way we want it reconnected while we're down here? I mean, do we really want this electric right there? Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt anything. You know, if we look at where this road would come in and attach, it wouldn't attach where the electric is anyhow, or at least not to the point it would interfere with it. So let's just purchase that. We'll start time back up. And we'll commit to the railroad tracks. But good, so there we go. We can get those railroad tracks through there. And I don't think I want to mess with this. I want to start getting some of this stuff paved. But the other main thing that I would like to do is get that nice and straight looking. At least that far. Now, we're not going to be able to like, well, maybe we could attach here, right? See, some other infrastructure's in the way or whatever, but come off. No, you know, I'd almost rather make it like not so good. Right, and then what we can do is once we can get rid of this and then bring this straight, but then like we can build a bypass road, but let's build this first and then we can build the bypass road, if that makes sense, one way or the other, and then that way we're not cutting this off forever or in the meantime. Like we'll have both bridges that we can use, and this is not that horrible anyway. So now this guy could start. Well, you know what? Let's let him finish. We're putting pretty heavy demands on our two dumpers over here. So because they will start, like the dumpers aren't in here because they're over here helping with these roads here, or the footpaths here, which I think are more important. All right, I'd rather get this done ASAP. And then I'll come back here and start assigning this. But there we go. So we got that little tiny improvement out of the way. And what are you doing over here? Why are you? So you, Wyckoff House Warehouse 2. It's not connected with the road. So you're working for, so the Riverville Warehouse 2. So the Riverville Warehouse. Oh, okay. Oops. Man, that's very true. Can we get that in there? No. Yep. Well, there we go. There's a bigger priority. Yeah, and then the other problem is now he's clogging up the works. Right. Yeah, the other thing here is maybe what we should be doing is going to this. Does that work equally well? Yeah, load this or this. Can we get rid of that? Right? And then you. Because it could, rather than having this happen, right? Like, because even if we get this guy messed up again in 5 minutes because something's not connected, he won't. Why don't you leave there, right? No, you're just really determined to sit there forever. I can't get rid of that, can I? I don't really want to have to sell you to fix you, but I guess there's no other choice, is there? I mean, well, or I just buy this down here. It'd probably be cheaper just to buy this road. Yeah, let's do that. Rather than having to sell that vehicle again. I don't mind doing these things when it's done for poor programming. Like, again, there should be some mechanism to send that guy on his way that doesn't continue to clog up the whole works. Should, yep. Yeah, well, at least it was just a little bit of money in that sense and not a big thing. And then, yeah, so we should be getting some more money in for our clothing redistribution efforts that we did here. Yeah. Well, we'll see. But we'll have to keep an eye on the money at that point, and we'll take a look at what we're doing at each of these, and yeah, if it's above 10%, then take it to each of those warehouses, and then we're gonna be, yeah, we're gonna need to get to the point where we can export some stuff from here more reliably. Yeah, this guy's going to the Eggenham Shopping Center. Yeah, we don't really even want that, do we? We want this guy to go. Well, and do we buy? Okay, you know what? We're going to come back. We're going to keep working on this. We really need to get this worked on. This is my bigger priority. And then over time, we'll, yeah, probably even in between the episodes, I think I'm going to straighten out to the best of my ability what we can with the thing. And we're also, I'll come back after this is done, probably get a few of these built in the meantime where we can start, you know, taking some of the clothing from here and getting it into there. And then we really got to look at this money going down. Yeah, go look. Did we fill up everything we wanted here? No, but we got an awful lot of trucks sitting there doing nothing. Why is that? Yeah, and see, this is... Oh, wait, you know what? I did have another comment that I had the... Riverville Sawmill unload. Load boards. There we go. So we'll go get some boards. But otherwise, good. We have stuff in there, which is good. All right. There, let's see another road getting built. Very good. All right, guys. I'll be back. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.